What was... Oh, man, I had a story. Oh, conspiracy theorist. Am I allowed to mention it? What's that term? Not the Illuminati. The Masons. The Freemasons. It's not like I'm sharing a bad story, so I guess it's fine to say. But my relatives... By my relatives, I mean the direct blood that I have descended from. He was part of the Freemasons, and by extension, I was forced to be associated with the Freemasons, but it was not the Freemasons. Now, for those who don't know what type of club this is, you might know, you might not. Why is it yabe? No, the Freemasons are only for men. But if you were the daughter of one, you technically could get into some, like, alternate thing that was not the Freemasons, but it was related to the Freemasons. It's not anything bad, guys. Basically, the most that I remember happened because I was able to observe it because there was like a lot of charity stuff. There was just a lot of fundraisers. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty boring. But as my duty, there was a fundraiser and we just had to serve food. So there'd be prepared food in the cafeteria. We just serve it to a bunch of men wearing the tux. And there's like some auction or something. I'm not entirely sure. But the locations would be in these things called Bethels. I think that's the term. It was a Bethel. A Bethel or a Bethel. I think that's where our meetings usually took place. And the Bethels would have like different numbers. So that's where we would meet up every freaking Sunday. Jesus Christ. Oh my good God, I have a story to tell about it. I have a story, but it was not a very fun story, but I guess I could tell you now. So this is probably the closest I consider as bullying. But this one. So for this archived memory of mine, we had to go on like a weekday trip to the mountains in a freaking cabin in the woods. It wasn't. It was actually a big giant campus. I was very young at this age, is all I'll say. And my parents basically made me join the club so I could socialize better. Unfortunately, I think I couldn't relate to people there. When you meet people, at least for me, you either know that they're the type of person that you could be friends with, or they're not the person that you really care to be friends with. Not because they're mean or anything, it's just like compatibility. It makes no sense to me. So I'm not the type to force friendships. That's why I'm super slow burn with befriending people. Like, you're either someone I could really feel compatible and comfortable with, or you might not be that. That makes sense? And I hope that makes sense. But anyway, they really tried to force me to socialize with a bunch of girls in that group. And when we went to the campus over the weekend, there was a hazing ritual. And the hazing ritual was basically they took food from the cafeteria, from the dumps, the garbage can. They took food from the garbage can. Even the adults got hazed into this, by the way. The chaperones, essentially. The adult chaperone had to do this with us as part of the hazing. Kind of weird, to be honest. So they took eaten food from the garbage can. If there were other things in there that wasn't food, I wouldn't really know, to be honest. I assume that they tried to pick it out, though, like any dangerous hazards. And they laid it on the ground in that dorm. And the girls that were not hazed yet in the previous years, and I was young, by the way. I wasn't even a teenager. I was not yet a teenager. They made the girls random ages. We rolled around the half-eaten food, and then they would just tell us to do like some random crap, like dance. And I think one of them even like recorded the dance. And then after that, you finished. That was it. Also, they made us try to kiss a vending machine for some freaking reason. It was like stupid stuff, which is like, no wonder I can't really see myself befriending you guys. After that event, I told my parents I do not want to return. I thought it was ridiculous. I already put up with that club for a year or more. I don't remember. Also, it was a meeting every freaking Sunday, and I would get headaches easily just because of it. So that was my experience with my association of the club related to Freemasons. I did not give the actual name of the club, but I think it's probably public on the internet, like the name of it. So yeah, that was a thing. Yeah, I didn't want to be in there in the first place. And thankfully after that, my parents were like, okay, yeah, it's probably, I think you've had a good year or two in here. It's like, yeah, thank freaking God. It's like, no wonder I don't understand people. This thing makes no freaking sense. But you'll have to get a clip for that story. Hopefully someone edits it well. So yeah.